I don't like creating content at the expense of other people. Sometimes it can't be avoided. Where it can, I will try my best to avoid doing it. In this case, I have no choice but to use examples to explain, really, the issues I have with some content creators, because what it is, I recognize talent in people. And not even that. Sometimes I'm trying to just listen to whatever the message they're trying to deliver, and I find it intolerable. But sometimes some people, you do recognize that if they just improved little things, it doesn't have to be huge things, just little minor irritants, their content elevates, and all of a sudden, you get a wider audience, all sorts. Now, to be honest, some of these already got a fine audience. I always find it quite mental, to be totally honest, because I always think, is anyone else seeing this? And no one ever addresses it. And some of these content creators, they constantly do it. So like they're very repetitive with the issue. So if they've got a problem, it's always exasperated by the fact that they do it every time. So I will see the content and I'm thinking that's quite triggering to me, to be totally honest. I'd rather not be triggered, but you're trying to like think, oh, but when it happens repeatedly, it becomes a bit too much. So for instance, there's someone I blocked, I think earlier or yesterday. It just reached a point where I couldn't tolerate it anymore. It's not like personal with them. It's just I can't have that on my timeline where I have to see it day in, day out from a content creator that I find absolutely maddening, to be totally honest. Some people, when they start a video, they don't just get to the point. Rather than start with exactly what you're talking about, they'll go, "Hi, welcome," or something. Like, it's something like that, but it's like every single video, though, and you're like, "Oh my God, just talk. Just talk." You don't have to do this, like, intro thing that a lot of people do. I don't know why they do it. It's strange to me. I just think, look, don't overindulge yourself. Just start talking. Talk properly. You don't have to do this shit. So yeah, some of it I find really triggering. I don't want to. Of course, I don't want to be triggered. Who does? So I want to show a couple of examples. I've done something like this similar in the past. If you go back through my Level Up series, I've got a video on the art of speaking, which one would think that's quite easy. So if you see content creators or you see people on camera, you hear people talking, even a podcast, if they're articulate and they can structure sentences and speak clearly, it's easy to take it for granted and just think that's easy, it's effortless, anyone can do that. Once you see examples of people who can't, you'll realize that it actually takes an awful lot of self-control and mastery to be able to be like affluent and fluent with the vocabulary and the way it's structured, the way it's delivered. Like for me personally, I've evolved and evolved and evolved, and there's a reason for it, really. First of all, I've done plenty of videos. Second of all, within my books, when I write, of course, it's the voice in my head. So when you read it back, like when I read back, there would naturally be repetitions. It's going to happen to anybody. There'll be repetitions in the dialogue. So maybe, and then I've typed that up, how I'm thinking it. Then when I read it back for an edit, it's like, oh, yeah, that's getting a bit annoying now. I keep hearing the same thing. We need to remove that and restructure it. So that becomes a fine tuning of the vocabulary. Then when I do the audiobooks, of course, it's deciding the tempo, how I want to articulate what I'm trying to deliver. It becomes an art within itself because like, I'm naturally a fast thinker, so I could actually talk fast naturally. But I realised that can be a bit overwhelming for someone. It might be too much for them to keep up, or they might miss words here and there, and that's not what I want. If I want people to hear what I've got to say, then it's up to me to control myself in a way that is legible, really. So there's an art, like I said, there's an art within itself. I don't want to talk too slow to the point where it looks like I'm mocking someone, but I want it to be as controlled as I possibly can so I don't get ahead of myself and start running in flowing sentences into sentences, So again, there's an art to the craft, and I would argue I've mastered it to a degree through the work that I've done. Now, like I said, I don't want to pick people apart, and I could give hundreds of examples. It's just I've only just saved a few. Most I try to skip. This is the thing. I don't mark every video I don't like. I tend to skip past it as fast as I can. And like I said, if it's the same creator repeatedly, I end up losing it. I just have to block them because I'm like, I can't listen to that shit ever again. You know, it's just, I can't do it. It's driving me nuts. And look, people might not have the same issues I have with repetitions, but when you hear it repeatedly or you see something repeatedly, it sears into your soul. Well, it does to me. So like I said, some of the content creators are actually going to be really good at what they do if they could just stop doing this shit. And this is one example of, like I said, there could be 100 people. I've seen so many doing the same thing. Some people at the end of a sentence, it's like they're comforting themselves. If you actually think of it, like, why would you do that? It's a comforting. It's unnecessary, completely unnecessary. So at the end of a sentence, for instance, let's say you're trying to deliver information. Some people would say okay at the end of a sentence. So your life's going to improve. Okay. You think, oh, okay. When you hear okay at the end of sentences repeatedly, maybe every third sentence or something, you're like, I can't handle this shit anymore. Stop saying okay at the end of a sentence. If you just stop it, it actually makes it more powerful. And then I'm actually listening. And if they don't say okay, they'll say all right. It'll be one of the two. There might be a different word here and there. But either way, it's something that's going to sear deep into your head. And I've done videos in the past, like I said, I've done this. And I don't like picking people apart. But the only way we're going to raise awareness, because I thought other people would notice it. Like I said, I've gone through people's comments and no one says a damn thing. And I don't want to be that person who comments on their video, you know. So, I mean, it's like I'm doing it myself in my own way here, of course. It's not ideal. But how do you raise awareness? I want people to be confident when they create, you know, and that is by fine-tuning. If everybody just sugarcoats everything and just says, oh, no, that's great, it's like, it's not. It's irritating as shit. So anyway, let's just get on. So, like, it's sad because I do like her. She's not all... Well, I don't pick up on it all the time. I just think this video was just like... It was just the worst one she's ever done. Now, I want to just show the spiritual angle before we get there. It's going to piss some people off because I know some people are not spiritual and some people get really, really defensive about it. It's like, calm down. We don't have to go too mental. We all have our own beliefs. We all have different opinions and we all see life in a different way. And we've all had our own unique experiences. So it's not about validating in that sense. But I just wanted to show something quite beautiful, which is why I tried to listen to the video even more. As you can see, she's put 444 on her own video. So that is really saying that's relevant to the content. So if you was to see 444, it would actually point to the significance of this video, wouldn't it? It stands to reason. That's why she'd put it in there. So imagine my surprise when I go on the video. Four, like, without me even liking it. I'll zoom out on that video. So you can see that video. Anyway, I just wanted to show that really, because that's why I tried to tolerate it, because I'm like, okay, if that's relevant to my journey in some way, I better listen. Now, we're not going to listen all the way through because it's 11 minutes and I don't even think I got fast. I think I got to about 4 minutes, but even then I was like, wanted to smack my head against the wall. Like, I would have taken my head clean off, in all honesty. It was intolerable. And I just thought, if that's a sign, if I'm supposed to listen to this, that's wild, because I can't tolerate it. And I don't want to be rude, and I know it's rude. But like I said, sometimes you just got to be that person, you know. It's like, what can I do? So we're not looking for... Well, actually, we can do. Look at the way she delivers. I think she's fine. She's confident in her message. So she doesn't... You know, people have different mannerisms. She doesn't stutter. She doesn't seem confused when she talks. There's just an unnecessary repetition of her words at the end of sentences that I find intolerable. But now, like I say, other people might not find it bad. But now imagine seeing the content, either them repeatedly or other content creators do it. And that's what it is. It's not necessarily... Like, I could probably go through her videos and it's probably happening quite often. But it's the fact that there's so many content creators who do it. And it just, for me, it lowers the standard. If you was to give people, like, in terms of, like, the content they create, you go between 1 and 10 rating of their performance in terms of the way they deliver, they articulate, the message, all these things. How did they present? Because sometimes you've got to think, take the camera away, listen purely to the audio like it is a podcast, and then judge it based on that performance, because that's kind of how it has to be, you know? Well, it's as for me. So I'm not here to watch so much as to listen. You know, I'm more interested in listening. So what have you got to say? And I'd love to hear it because that's why I'm listening. Otherwise, I would have just skipped it, wouldn't I? So I think that's what frustrates me just as much is the fact that I'm interested to listen. You know. So it's up to them to then deliver the message, isn't it? So we can listen to the way they structure the sentences, which I think is fine, but it's that repetition. So I'm going to let people figure that out now.
And for a message. Because I'll tell you, I'm looking at the cards here. Look there. The overall roof. I'm looking.
Well, you might find a volume's low. It's low for me. Some people just talk quiet or their setup's crap. It's just, unfortunately. You know, I don't know why people don't invest in better setups. If you're going to be on camera a lot, then start. But it's not for me to say.
At the window. Okay. I'm
Okay.
seeing the overall vehicle here. And I'm seeing the street. So, I feel like within this situation, you've always had to be so protective. Okay? Protective of your overall energy, protective of your overall self here. And that's what made you feel really secure within, right? Right. But yet, it still wasn't quite fixing the overall issue, was it? Okay.
Oh,
Having
for
all
God's
this
sake.
protective energy around you and realizing that you were highly protected, divinely protected, most importantly. Because then all of a sudden, you were kind of forced, right? To kind of view things a little bit differently. Because with this window card here, it's kind of like realizing that, you know what? You had certain beliefs, okay? These beliefs here are what's been holding you back. And now you're letting go of these overall self-limited beliefs, aren't you? Yeah. Because I see you here within a vehicle here. And I feel like you're going places, okay? You're about to go on a major, major overall experience here, okay?
I'm
And
losing my
I feel like
shit. Like I know it looks like I'm being patronising, and I am because I'm trying to control it. If I wasn't on camera right now, I kid you not, I'll be just sitting there losing my shit. I've got like it sears into my soul. It's that constant okay. There's no need for that shit. Take all that out, and the content's great. So why add it? People should watch. I think the real big problem with content creators is they must not watch their content back. I am Look, I have a OCD with that shit, you know. I will watch my stuff back, and not to self-indulge. I'm just always analysing. So I know if like if my sound was broken, if my audio is not working, if there's too much vibration in the microphone. So like there's things for me to work on. I know because I'm listening. I recognise in a couple of times here I've said like, and it's irritating me. So it's very important that I cut that out, and I'll remember to cut that out. These people, they don't take any accountability of their content. So I don't think personally they watch it back. Because if you don't watch it back, you'll continue to make the same mistakes. In the same way, her volume is really hard to hear. So why wouldn't you do something about it? Sit closer to the. If you're doing it solely on your phone, for instance, and you haven't got a microphone attached or a Bluetooth microphone, then you're going to have to just try and get closer to it because there's no point having video quality if your audio quality is not enough. Now, on the one hand, it's fine. I can turn the volume up, but not everybody's going to have that capacity. Now, not her specifically, but I've had a few times where I'm listening through a headset specifically, and the sound will only come out of one side. And again, that's people should be. If you're going to create content, you should be focusing on that shit because it's really hard to actually listen for more than 30 seconds to audio that only comes out of one. It's mono audio. You can go into your computer and you can use audio or video editors, and you can literally change the soundtrack from mono to stereo. You can enhance it, and it'll use both speakers. But if you just pump content out like you just don't care, then you can't expect other people to care. It's just simple as that, isn't it? So if you're going to create content, surely you want to provide the best service you can through that content. Anyway, we'll do a little bit longer. I'm not going to go much further because I can't tolerate this shit. If she's not saying okay, she's saying all right. And other people are saying other things too.
like when you're within this car, there's something here you're going to realize. All right? You're going to experience something different like you've never experienced before. I see the street card. So I feel like this is going to push you to want to go even further, okay? Maybe travel a little bit further here. And it's at that moment. I see the crossroads. It's like you're coming upon this overall crossroad. You've got to make a choice. You've got to make a decision here. Is this going to be your turning point? Or are you going to take this path or this path? Because, sure, the countryside looks great, right? Okay, place you can retreat, peace and quiet, maybe a little wine. Maybe just overall seeing the beauty and the simple living here. But that's not you, is it? No, it's not you. In fact, I'm looking at the grassland card. And as much as what you'd like things to stay simple, okay, as much as what you like things to be a little bit peaceful, I feel like at times, though, you crave for something a little bit more, all right? Something
Right,
where...
we can't do anymore. I can't. My tolerance levels, I have certain levels. I told you I only got about 4 minutes last time. We're at 3 minutes now. It's constant okays and all rights. That's breaking point to me. Now, I'm seeing this an awful lot where people repeat sentences. And for me, that switch, I switch off like almost immediately. So that video, for instance, where you got the okays and the all rights, I can tolerate it for a duration, but I'm not enjoying it. It's just putting me off, and it's just constant, and it's like a barrage of repetitions. My mind can't tolerate it. And again, this might just be specific to me, but what's effectively happening though is they might have a good message. This is my whole point. It's not about like trying to berate people and trying to like use. It's not trying to be horrible. It's to explain it. Someone might have a good message. They might have something they really want to share, and it might be really interesting. But the trouble is, it's hidden behind those people just keep doing the same things. And it's if you just remove those things, I can actually listen. And you'll find other people can too. This one is intolerable. We're going to see it in the first 3 sentences, I think, because I remember the video. I had 3 examples come up, and then I saw this one. I went, I remember this one. I couldn't even get through it. I'm pretty sure the first 3 is them repeating the sentence. So they say it once, they say it twice, they say it 3 times. Why do you need to do that? And he's not the only one. I see many do it, and it makes my head want to explode.
If this finds you, it's for you. I'm like shaking. You are in your divine power. You are in your divine power. You are in your divine power.
Now, whether he says anything else after that, there's no way. I can't listen to someone who is just going to repeat the same shit. My mind just goes boom. Like, I don't even care what else you got to say. I should have noticed it when it said create, create, create. Because if that's again, I don't want to be an asshole, but that side of me does come out sometimes. And like, why ruin it with repetitions? I don't understand that shit. I can't listen. Now, this one, she's not always bad, but this video, at first I was listening and I thought, okay, I'm just going to listen. I think I was doing something at the same time, so I just thought, okay, I'll put that on and I'll do something while I've got my headphones on. I think. And then I realised she's giving me a headache. Try not to swear there. I actually got a headache because she doesn't even stop to breathe. And like I said, when you do content creation, you want people to hear you, listen. There's a level of control, I think, that becomes you master. You're thinking about the audience, surely, because that's the whole point of the content creation. Now, with that in mind, consider how controlled her voice is and whether she's thinking about the audience at all, because I don't understand why people need to talk loud anyway. Like, it doesn't emphasize anything to me. It just hurts my head. Like, I don't need someone to shout or talk loud. I don't think she shouts specifically, but she talks loud. But the point is, she doesn't even stop to breathe. And it's like, wait a minute. You're not pausing. If you, again, this is the writer side of me. It's the equivalent of having no commas, no full stops. There's literally no structure to a sentence, and the words just rumble on. And if you opened a book up and saw that, you'd think this is a mess. Like, where's the stopping? Where's the moment for pause? Where's all that? They don't have a moment of pause. So if there was a book and there was no commas, no paragraphs, no full stops, and it was like a chapter of just word jumble, and you think that's not edited very well because the grammar's terrible. It's like, no. That's literally how they delivered it. That is exactly right. There is no grammar problem with this at all. That's literally the delivery. You'd think that's madness. Now think of that. Now again, I am a little bit anal retentive like that, but it's because I do my book and it's like that. It's what I have to go through myself, and I hold myself accountable. So that's the thing. When I say these things, people can then check me out, and you can judge me, and I'm sure there's some things I do wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect, although, to be honest, I'm pretty good at what I do, and I know that. And I know people won't like that because they'd rather, if you say something, people would rather pick at you. But, like I just said, I'm always evolving and developing. It's not just by chance. I take it serious. So, let's check this example out.
You are an original. Holy shit. You are an original. You are royalty, pure sovereignty, pure power, pure royalty. One of the original royal star family of the universe. The original plan, God's plan. You were there. You are part of it. You are here in disguise. You are here, like, it's giving me Jasmine from Aladdin. Like, you were so used to having access to everything, literally being the hand of the universe, manifest anything, create anything. And you decided in this life that you were going to prove your power to yourself in a whole new way by giving yourself the least amount, by putting yourself in a situation where you had to battle out of it, where everyone told you what you weren't instead of what you were, and and you had to prove to yourself.
Like I say, I had my headphones on. I was just chilling out doing something, and I was getting anxiety. Like, not full-blown anxiety, but I just thought, freaking hell, I feel tense. And I realised it's because they're in my head and it's not pausing. It's like, it's just building and building and building and building. It's like, whoa, calm down. Jesus, just pause for a bit.
Time and time again, who you were, what you are. How does it feel to be named? How does it feel to be seen and to be recognized? Because I see you. I know what you are. You were one of the originals. You created the cells of the universe. You laid out the stars. You painted the cosmos. You laid the original grid. Not only that, you decided what each 222 on the clock, what each individual cell was going to be responsible for, what everything would do, what everything was capable of. You created everything, every little bit of it.
God damn, that's 1 minute 25. That feels like it's been going on forever to me. So that hurts my head. I do actually get, like, look, there is this huge spiritual side to me that, you know, I'll do in separate content. I don't like to overlap content sometimes. Like, if I can avoid it, I'll try not to, because I know some people don't like that. I get an awful lot of content talking about chosen one. It's not saying you're the only chosen one. Within spirituality, there is the concept that there's 144,000 people, and they come to Earth, or they will incarnate in Earth to have a profound impact on humanity, like a positive impact. And they get a lot of signs. You know, I am one of those chosen. And it's like, okay, that's beautiful. I have a purpose. I'm fulfilling whatever I come here to do, and I do the best I can with what I'm given, which is usually a blank canvas, and it's usually a freaking nightmare. And I'll still keep pushing forward no matter how hard it is, and then I'll get beautiful signs around it, as we saw with the 444. I'm not validating that here. You can go on my YouTube channel. I've got a whole series there called A Star is Born, and it's about 15 episodes. It's about 15 hours worth of content, and you can see some of my tarot and that. Again, I don't like forcing it. I've done a whole separate segregated area there. But one thing I absolutely hate, and it's a quick way to get me to stop listening, and she hasn't specifically done it there, but she got close to saying it, is when I hear... Oh, actually, wait, it's two things that actually piss me off, to be honest, if we're being blunt. One is chosen one. So if someone says chosen one, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't need that labels. I don't give a shit. Don't call me chosen one. That just pisses me off. You know, I don't like things like that. The other one is within the spiritual community, when people do tarot readings for their audience. So some people, I know that some people won't believe all that, and I'm not going to go on a huge tangent with it, but the whole point is, you could argue, how do they know that's for you? It's not the point. Your guides would have sent that content to you. So that person didn't specifically do it for you. They've created the content. Anything related to your journey, your purpose, your life, what's going on, may get brought to you depending if you're ready to receive it or if it's beneficial to you. And that's why it comes to you. So you could argue, how did that person know? It's not about whether they know. It's just it's because it's relevant and it's to do with your path. That will come to you too. So people who it's relevant to will be given it by their guides, and that's why it's quite repetitive. Like, you keep getting seeing the same content, especially if you don't click like and things. You don't interact, and you get beautiful synchronicities, as I've just shown with that 444 on my phone. If you actually look, she's got 444 written on her thing too. I notice everything. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, so I hate it within the community where they keep saying collective. So collective is the audience, and I hate the way they keep saying it. Like, just deliver your message. Stop saying collective. So someone do that. They say, yeah, collective, yeah. And it's like, Jesus, just stop referring to people. Just talk. I know I'm coming across really arsehole here, and it's just, unfortunately, it bothers me that much. It just bothers me, and it's like, I can't switch off. I cannot switch off from this stuff. This guy drives me freaking nuts. He shares, and I'm saying he actually drives me nuts. It's not the content. Like, he talks good stuff. When he's talking, I like it. He talks a lot about like, politics, especially around Trump and issues within that sort of area of life. Every single video. Now, I haven't even seen this one yet. His video popped up and I just thought, oh, we'll add him because I know he's going to be a nightmare. I know his content before he even starts talking, because he always, and I mean always, like, you can guarantee it 100%, he will touch his hair about 5 times before he even starts talking, or even the middle of talking, but it'll always be at the very beginning. I don't why do people start recording if you're not ready? I see that as well, where people press the button and then it takes them a while to adjust this to get started. I just think that's just so stupid, because within the app you can actually cut the very beginning off if it's unhelpful. So let's say you've got to physically press the button on your phone and there's a huge weird part. You can you can use the app and delete that section and just start it from when you talk, which would be far more punctual. It'd be far better. In the same way, I got no idea why he has to piss around with his hair every single video when he could just start the recording after that. If you're not happy with the way you're looking, then just adjust your look before you start. It's the same way. Look, before we go any further, I might as well go a little bit here. It's the same way when sometimes I see people eating their breakfast cereal or something, and they're just eating on camera, and I can't. In my mind, I can't fathom that. It's like, why can't you just eat breakfast first and then record? Why has everything got to be now? Like, that's just, everyone's got to watch that video at some point, like when it comes up, and they've always got to watch it in that moment when you decided to eat, which kind of ruined the whole thing. It's like watching a pig. You know, I don't want to be rude. Like, you know, I guess it's just behavioural traits that I hold. I'm accountable to myself. So, like, for instance, it's very rare. I do it sometimes, but I'll usually make a hot drink, like tea or coffee in the Brits. We love tea, but I'd sometimes have coffee as well. And sometimes it'll go cold, because it's very rare for me to drink that drink while I do my video, because I think it's very unprofessional. Now, if I watch a video, so let's say I press play on his video, and I know it's going to be like a minute or two at the bare minimum, it might even be longer than that, then I think that's a fine time for me to just quickly have a drink. I can sip it because I'm not talking. But I think it's really unprofessional in the middle of a video or anything to just drink. You wouldn't see that on, if you was watching a podcast, for instance, or just listening to one, you wouldn't have people sipping drinks in the middle of a podcast. You know, it's just ridiculous. So anyway, I know I'm going off here, but this is the whole point of this isn't to sort of like be horrible. It's just, if you're going to create content, then you have to have a you need to think high standards. Everything everybody else is doing that I'm picking out here it's substandard, in my opinion. It's not good enough. It's just not. It's like, you can say, oh, you're just being silly. Watch it enough times and you'll realize they're devaluing their work because they're not addressing the issues. It's as simple as that. So anyway, it's like, imagine me every time I do a video, you see me pissing around with my hair and trying to just watch this shit. I haven't even pressed play yet. If he doesn't do it, I'll be bloody surprised.
All right, kids, it's almost 6 o'clock. So after about an 8-hour break,
every video
of having this account, my main account, being,
look, I'll show you. I think he's got a new account, actually. I'm not sure. Open that account. Right, we're gonna have a little look through his videos. We go one at a time. Let's start from... We'll just start anyway, really, because he's going to do it on every video.
It's lunchtime on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. The TikTok ban, the current iteration of the TikTok ban, is supposed to go into effect tomorrow, June 19th.
He hasn't done it yet. I'm
It's
surprised.
being reported that Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order that will once again delay the TikTok ban. This will
I think this is like a rare occasion where he don't, because if he doesn't do it at the beginning, I can't see why he would want to touch his hair later.
his third extension of the second two Chinese government.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a rare one, because we're going to see it here.
So I've seen a couple of reports today. It's Wednesday, June 18th, that ICE...
No, I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's changed his ways, because every time it would always be before he talks. I don't think he would do it in the middle of talking. I mean, he can.
They're about
it's unlikely.
$1 billion over swiping money. Everything is just really dumb and stupid right now. Just like Trump supporters. It's Wednesday, June 18th. So
to be honest, I think what's happened here, looking at the time scales and things, I think he's probably recorded video after video in the same outing. So he's probably touching his hair for the first video, and then after that, he's already adjusted himself and he's probably recording it in the same location. That's what I think is happening here.
We watched Musk a gold key.
Hey folks, it's Wednesday. Our live is going to happen this evening.
It's mad how much he touches his hair.
I did a couple of TikToks over the weekend talking about, I was listening to the latest podcast episode called The Focus Group.
Still down here in southern Indiana, and I wanted to show you something. This sign here that says...
It's exactly the same.
I have zero.
Sheesh.
So Ajon,
Well, I don't always see all this.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short...
Well, anyway, you can see what I'm getting at there. I don't want to sort of pick apart everything he's doing, but that's mental to me. It's like it triggers the shit out of me, to be totally honest, because as soon as someone just starts doing things like that, it's just repetitive, isn't it? And these are only a few examples, mind you. Like if I thought I was going to do this video, I would have had a lot more lined up, because as I say, there's some that just go crazy. Like this guy here, he said that. The fact that he repeated this, I'm seeing that a lot with some content creators, constantly repeating the lines.
Your divine power. You are in your divine power. You are...
I don't understand why he's doing it. That's the part I don't get. Like, why repeat it all the time, though? Like, we get it. You said it the first time. Okay. Like, what the...
Your divine...
Jesus Christ.
You are in your divine...
Whoa. Did he say it 4 times? Because now he's pissing me off. Let me see. I've got to check this out now. Because I think he's doing it 4.
I'm like, shit.
Right, this is some weird shit. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Spirit seems to give me people that irritate the living shit out of me, because there's another woman who I think is quite patronising the way she talks, and I actually can't handle her at all. And I have to skip her. And I always say out loud, like, don't bring her to me, because she winds me up. And yet I always get her when it's an important message, and I can't watch it. And I say, you just wasted your time, because I'm not listening to that shit, because I can't handle it. This guy's doing my head in, and check this out. I've only just noticed it now. You know, people can think what you want in terms of like spirituality, and I'm not here to convince anyone of anything, but I will show the signs I get. I'm trying to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, so there's no sort of like confusion here. Check out the bookmark where I've saved it. Now, it's going to be annoying for me to try and fix this after. 777. Because I faved it to do this video. I didn't even realise. 777, that's outrageous. And there'll be synchronicities everywhere else, of course, but that's mental. Now I've got to try and fix this bloody thing. We're never going to get it back to the right size. Look, now he's huge. Right. No. It's all right me doing it to make a point, but it's like, god damn, now we've got to try and figure out how we're going to get it back. Right, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. So anyway, so let's start from here. I just want to see if he says it, how many times he said it.
I'm like, Shay, you are in your divine power. 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 That's all. That's. You don't even see how
I
beautiful.
know I don't see shit because I can't tolerate this shit. He said it 4 times. I thought he said it 3 because I switched off. I thought, oh, now he's going to talk. I'm not listening to this shit because I can't tolerate it. And little did I know he was going to say it again.
Beautiful your life is about to get.
I think the real problem is, I'm not saying his message is wrong because I get in a lot of repetition around this. I just don't share all of it because it's my journey, you know. But I think some people, when they create content, in all honesty, I don't think they know what the hell they're going to say. I think they just run out of ideas, and I think that's why they repeat. And that's why I get fed up. Because if it's just going to be short, just make it short. Don't drag this shit out. Just say what you got to say. If it's 30 seconds and you don't know what else to say after, just leave it there. It's fine. And that's what I'm like with my books, you know. I won't fluff the pages. I won't make a book bigger than it has to be. I won't overextend the chapter. I'll say what I want to say. And that's what I'm going to say, you know. It's not going to be anything keep going over. Because a lot of books get repetitive, and they do it on purpose. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I've only had these as examples. I could probably go on my TikTok channel and find a load more, but we've got on long enough anyway. And I know, look, me talking on this is not going to put me in the best light. And I recognise that. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because I'm not here to just be like a perfect example of anything. I'm just me, and I'm just showing the things that irritate me. So that maybe people got an idea of, you know, and I think really it make people aware. Because it's easy to gloss over and you don't even notice it. So you watch people's content, you think, oh, that was great. Because you wasn't picking up on the subliminals. You wasn't picking up on those little nuances, those little tediums. And people getting away with it. And it's like, no, there's no need for this shit. Let's just improve. So if they just watch their content, there's no way, surely, if he watched his content back, he would be happy with the beginning of that. Because how long did it take him before he even started talking about anything?
Are in your divine.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We were a minute in nearly. I think he got to a minute of actually just repeating 4 lines. Like, you are in your divine power. He's saying like 6 words, and he said it 4 times. And that was like a huge bit. Because it's only 2 minutes, 55 minutes. So it's 3 minutes. And he spent a third of the video just saying that. So, like I say, I don't come across great in this. I get it, but like I say, like it's the same with all my content. If I don't say it, who the hell will?